Hello and welcome. My name is PoiSzn and I have the pleasure of introducing you to the Liquidity Depth Pro Plus indicator by Toodegrees. What is the Liquidity Depth Pro Plus? Liquidity Depth Pro Plus is the fastest range visualization tool available on TradingView right now. The core functionality being the ability to plot preset and custom ranges onto your TradingView chart. The extended functionalities included are the alert functions, the range deviations, liquidity depth, and time distortion rebalancing. An example of one of the preset ranges, which is the one set up for life, OSFL. This is the preset. It has the Asia, London, New York AM, New York PM, and the lunch sessions. Pay close and careful attention to the highs and lows and how these are extended out in time until they are mitigated or tagged. This was one of the features that I had requested, that we track untapped highs and lows of any custom or preset session. We have my personal PoiSzn AM ranges, which are preset inside the indicator. These run from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and these are 15 minutes, or the first 15 minutes of every hour. Again, pay close and careful attention to the highs and lows and how I track session liquidity based on whether the highs or lows are tapped or untapped. PoiSzn PM ranges would run from 12 p.m. up to 4 p.m. and these again are the first 15 minutes of every hour from 12 p.m. And lastly, the custom ranges, you are able to do up to 4 custom ranges, and I use these for London and Asian ranges, again the first 15 minutes of every hour, or the ONS or mini ONS ranges. So let's hop on over to the actual indicator on TradingView. When you plot put on the indicator, the first thing that you will need to do is show LD. Once you click the show LD function, the ranges would now show onto your chart. You have the option for the custom sessions. You click that, and this is where you would input all of your custom times. You have the one setup for live function. Once you click that, the one setup for live ranges, New York AM, PM, Asia, London, and the lunch sessions would show in the background. You can see PoiSzn AM sessions and the PoiSzn PM sessions. We have the ability to show the previous up to 20 liquidity pools. So this is one of my functions. I set this to max. Scroll a little bit down. We have the ability to auto color the sessions either by bull or bear, or set custom color sessions inside here if you'd like. The liquidity labels, you can either have them as short form, long form, small, tiny, depending on how big you need to see them. Session EQ, and scroll a bit further down, we have the liquidity depth type. This would either be a value, ticks, pips, or percentages, depending on whether you use metals or forex. And once you click this function on, and if we use it on NQ, for example, you would then start to see this plot values, in this case, of $10, $20, and $30 above and below the range. Getting back to the settings, we have the time distortion rebalancing function, and basically this is a visualization that I've asked the team to include, which would allow you to visualize any voids in time, or if you wanted, the RTH gaps that exist between 1600 and 9:30 the following day. Once you click this function, it would now create a visible void, like you can see on the chart here, from the close at 1600 to the open at 9:30. And when we go into it, you would be able to see, if you click the time distortion rebalancing function and the history function, it would show you right here. You can see on the chart right here with a tick that the 1600 time distortion was rebalanced from this particular day. Heading a bit further down, we have the show range deviation function. This is the function that you would use if you want to use standard deviations to be projected, like you see me do on X. Above and below the ranges, we have the range labels. This is where you would input the custom times And again, number of sessions, maximum 20. You can set the alert deviations to either the body, the wick. Scroll a bit further down. We have the ability to project just the body range, right? So that'll be candle body to candle body as per the time frame that you click on TradingView. We have the ability to project wicks. We also have the ability to differentiate between body ranges and wick ranges and the midpoints. Show standard deviations. This is where you want to click the labels, and the standard functions. If you just hover over this, you would be able to input any custom standard deviations like the 6 or 6.5 or 2.33. If you wanted body deviation zones, and once you click these functions, you would see on the chart that it would create these zones between these two specific standard deviations, and it would show you all of these zones on the chart. And lastly, we have the alert functions right here. You can set alerts on TradingView for body deviations or wick deviations. So most of you would be here because you've seen me post these on X and how I personally find the highs and the lows of the day using the time distortion rebalancing function. So if you look on this particular day, the 9 to 9:15, this is a range deviation projection, and at this point we found the 6 to 6.5 wick deviations, and my mirror play logic dictates that price should want to trade to the 6 to 6.5 on the opposing direction. So this is just a quick or brief introduction to the Liquidity Depth Pro Plus indicator, how I use it and how you could use it yourself. Once you start to include all of the other ranges into this, you would see that we are able to track highs and lows of sessions right down to an M1. For me personally, I don't go further than that, and you would see how, for example, this session liquidity here, we tag the 8 p.m. range and we trade to the 8 p.m. range high, right? 8 p.m. range low tagged, we trade to the high, and this is how I'm able to trade with some precision, because if we are able to visualize and look at the sessions on chart, custom sessions or preset, we would know that once a range high is swept, ideally we would want to trade to order blocks, any PD array to the bottom, or the range low like you see here, and then trade away from them to previous untapped range highs or lows. So if you guys have any more questions, you can DM me, DM the team. If you guys are interested in purchasing the Liquidity Depth Pro Plus indicator, my code is available. You can DM me for a 20% off code. I'll gladly hand that over to you guys. And if you have any more questions, you guys can find me on X or on the Toodegrees Discord or my personal Discord. I hope you guys have fun using the indicator like I do, and this is a step forward to precision. I'll catch you guys later.